Claude just did something in code that made every other AI look like it was running on a potato. And I'm not exaggerating. Let me show you what happened and why this matters way more than you think. So here's the thing. We've been testing AI coding assistants for a while now, right? ChatGPT, Gemini, all the usual suspects. They're good. They can write code. They can debug. They're useful. But there's always been this one task that breaks them. It's not some obscure edge case either. It's something that actual developers do every single day. It's refactoring complex legacy code. Now, I know that sounds boring. Refactoring, legacy, these are words that make developers groan. But here's why it's actually the hardest test of an AI's coding ability. When you refactor, you're not writing something from scratch. You're taking existing code that's messy, poorly organized, sometimes written by 3 different people across 5 years, and you're making it cleaner without breaking anything. You have to understand the entire context. The dependencies. The weird edge cases someone hid in a comment from 2019. The business logic that's tangled up in ways nobody remembers why. And you have to change it all while keeping it working. Most AI assistants fail this spectacularly. They'll refactor a function, sure, but they miss side effects. They break other parts of the system. They don't understand why certain things were written the way they were. So developers end up having to fix the AI's fixes, which defeats the purpose. But Claude is different. We ran a test. We took a real code base. Not toy code. Not a tutorial project. Real production code. Thousands of lines. Tangled dependencies. Tests that had to keep passing. We asked Claude to refactor a critical module. Make it cleaner. More maintainable. Follow modern patterns. Here's what happened. Claude didn't just rewrite the code. It asked clarifying questions first. It understood the trade-offs. It refactored the code, but it also updated the tests. It updated the documentation. It explained every decision it made. And when we ran the full test suite, everything passed. No hidden bugs. No edge cases broken. Then we gave the exact same task to ChatGPT and GPT-4 and Gemini. ChatGPT broke the build on the first attempt. It refactored the function but didn't understand a callback pattern that was being used elsewhere. GPT-4 did better. It kept things working, but it made the code more complex, not less. It missed obvious opportunities to simplify. Gemini refactored it into something technically correct but completely unreadable. Like, it worked, but no human would ever maintain that. Claude got it right. Clean, readable, maintainable, all tests passing. So why does Claude win at this? What's the actual secret? It comes down to reasoning depth and context windows. Claude has a much larger context window than most competitors. That means it can see more of your codebase at once. It understands the bigger picture. But more importantly, Claude's architecture is built around something called constitutional AI, which basically means it's trained to think through problems step by step, to consider consequences, to reason about trade-offs. When Claude tackles a refactoring task, it's not just pattern matching. It's actually reasoning about what the code does, why it was written that way, and what the best way to improve it is without creating new problems. This sounds like a small thing, but in the real world, this is huge. Because refactoring is where a lot of development time actually goes. It's not glamorous. It's not building new features. But it's critical. Bad refactoring can introduce bugs that take weeks to find. Good refactoring saves teams thousands of hours of maintenance work. And if an AI can do this reliably, it changes the game. Suddenly you have an assistant that doesn't just write code. It actually improves your codebase. It understands context. It makes decisions that a junior developer might make, but better, because it's not tired and it can see the whole picture. Now, this isn't to say Claude is perfect. It's not. No AI is. There are still tasks where other models do better. Claude can be slower. It can overthink simple problems. But for this specific thing, for understanding complex code and improving it safely, Claude has a real advantage. And here's what's wild. Most developers don't even know this yet. Because this isn't something that gets hyped. You don't see headlines about refactoring. But it's the kind of thing that separates AIs that are genuinely useful for professional work from AIs that are fun to play with. So if you're a developer, or you work with developers, or you're just curious about what AI is actually good at versus what it's overhyped for, this is the kind of thing you need to know. Because the AI that wins isn't always the one with the biggest numbers. It's the one that does the boring, essential stuff really well. And that's Claude. At least for now. If you want to actually keep up with what's happening in AI beyond the hype, subscribe. I break down real technical advantages like this every few days, not the marketing stuff you see everywhere else.